I'm running a little test on my new 5-volt relay to make sure that I can trigger on and off my plasma cutter using Estlcam. I recently installed this little relay. It's down here in the bottom of my box. It's a 5-volt relay, and I've got it connected to the 5-volt pin and the ground pin over here on the side of my Arduino. I've got some sample G-code from a simple lift and shift I did through downloading an image from Google, transforming it into a bitmap, using Inkscape, and then taking that and loading it with Estlcam. And the good thing is that it's a very streamlined process and it can be done very quickly. The bad thing is that I need to do some editing on the G-code. So I'm just taking it for what I have right now, and I'm going to test to make sure that the G-code signals M3 to get plasma turned on and M5 to turn the plasma off. They are the first two commands on the code that's going to be run by Estlcam, so they'll be tested first. And as a result, I'm not going to be using my plasma cutter because I don't need to have the plasma turn on at the beginning of the program. So I've got everything queued up here in Estlcam. This is a nice piece of software. You should buy it. If you're into CNC do-it-yourself activity, it's a simple program. It's not very expensive. And you can see over here I've got the G-code that I'm going to be running, and you can see the first commands are torch on, M3, and then if I scroll down, the M5 is the last command. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be tracing out a little Batman cutout, and I cut this out the other day from a piece of 14 gauge steel, and it came out very nice. Nice clean edges, sharp cut, runs fast, cutting it out with the plasma cutter. I did the trigger operation on this piece manually, so I'll be performing this again once I test and make sure that the relay works, and I've got the G-code in the right locations where the plasma torch is in the workspace right above the metal and ready to be turned on, instead of turning on once the G-code starts. But this is a nice little Batman piece. I downloaded a image from Google image search. I used an outline as a criteria. I put it into Inkscape. I transformed it into a bitmap and opened the bitmap with Estlcam. And start to finish, the pattern process probably took me 10 minutes. Once I got into Estlcam, I identified the part and put in the insertion and the zero and ran it. So start to finish, it was probably 20 minutes max, and the machine runtime on this was about 24 seconds, I believe. There's a link in the bottom of this video to the actual cut that I'll add to the bottom of this video. So I've got my drivers on. Normally I keep them off, but I turned them on right before we started with my kill switch. I've got everything ready, and we're looking for a couple of cues. We're looking for the click sound. The click sound will come when the relay is activated, and that's with the M3 command, and then shut down on the M5 command. And we're looking for an indicator light down here to show that the relay is functioning. So here goes the test. I've got my CNC machine on, and I've elevated the Z-axis so that my tool is a couple of inches off the workspace, so that I'm not going to run into anything. All I'm doing today is testing the axis control, or the relay. So we'll listen for the click, and we'll look for the visual light. There was the click and the light. There was the click off when the piece completed. I'm going to go ahead and rerun that and just show the Estlcam screen so that you can see how it visualizes the process. So here's the same piece, in Estlcam. You can see it's tracing, it's running the G code. There you go. So I'll be updating the G code to get the right start and stop for the plasma cutter. I'm going to put in a little bit more sophisticated design, maybe the Superman logo that I have linked to one of the router projects that I ran. That would be a good one, and we'll post that and see if this relay works to control plasma with my homemade do-it-yourself CNC machine.